Hello, ladies. Welcome to day 2 of the website planning party. And today we are going to talk about your About page. Let's start by going back to the basics. Who are the people who are going to come to your About page? Who are the people most likely to see your About page? They are people who saw you somewhere on the internet. They probably saw you posting on Facebook or somewhere on Insta, and they searched for your name, or they went to your profile and they looked up your website. Okay. Or they're people you gave your business card out to at networking events or something like that. Or people who heard about your work from somewhere and they Googled you. Now, when you're in the early stages of business, that's how people are going to get to know about you and land up on your About page. Once you grow bigger and you start growing your business and you start building up SEO juice and all of that, you will get traffic from other places as well. But for at least the first 6 months or so, until you start to drive specific traffic, or people start Googling you at random. Actually, even then, when people start Googling you, these are the kind of people who are going to come to your About page. So remember that, remember who your About page is for. Next up, we go to why did they come here? Because they saw you somewhere on the internet and they want to get to know more about you. They want to know whether you're someone worth following, whether they can learn something from you. They want to know that, yes, you understand them, that, yes, you can help them. And they want to know more of you as a person. Especially if you're in a service-based business, especially if you're selling B2C, that is business to consumer. That's you are selling directly to your audience, directly to your customers. You're not selling to a big company or a third party or something like that. If you are working directly with your consumers or directly with your customers, and especially if it's a service, they want that personal connection. They want to feel like they know you, because buying is always an emotional decision. And people buy from people they know, like, and trust. So your About page, when people come to your About page, they're just, at the back of their heads, the question in their mind is whether they're going to like you, whether there is some synergy, whether there is some common thread, whether there is something that shows that you understand them and that you can help them fix whatever problem or whatever issue they're looking for solutions for. That's the purpose. That's why they are coming to your About page. Okay, so you need to make sure that your About page does not turn into your online bio or a big, huge resume or your entire life story. People don't necessarily want to know your cat's name or what your cat had for breakfast. In the olden days, big companies would put their vision statement and their mission statement onto their About page in very, very formal looking language. Very intimidating and very cliched. But when you're in a service-based business, when you're working with people one-on-one, and you want that personal connection, share parts of your story, share parts of your life, share parts of you that are most relevant to the transformation you're helping them through. For example, if you go to my About page, I have worn many hats in my 2 decades of work experience. I've been a techie, I've been in semiconductor software, I have an MTech degree and 2 tech patents. I have run a freelance writing business. I have been a web designer and now I do business consulting. And somewhere in between, I also ran a gaming lounge. Phew, just saying all of that makes me tired. Now, if I were to write all of that on my About page, if I were to write a paragraph or two about every phase of my career, does that tell you how I can help you with your website? No. Does that tell you how I can help you grow your business? No. Does that help you decide whether I can actually help you through some kind of transformation? No, it doesn't. And the same thing holds when people come to your About page. All they're looking to do is decide whether or not you are worth spending time with. Whether it's worthwhile signing up for your email list or downloading your freebie or looking up your courses or watching out for you on social media. That's all they're trying to decide. And you have about 3 seconds or so to make an impact. So don't put everything in the kitchen sink on your about page. Only put parts of your story that are relevant to them. That if you were meeting them, in person at an event, what would you tell them about yourself? Let's say you go to a networking event specifically for your business area, okay, where almost everyone is a potential client. What would you walk up to them and tell them about yourself? You won't start off telling them, oh, I went to middle school here and primary school there and high school there and college there and this was my first crush, etc., etc. You're not going to tell them your entire life story. A power introduction. You're going to give them a power introduction. Hi, I help people. This is who I am, and I help people like you achieve so and so. Right? You're going to give them a power introduction. So your about page is a more intimate form of your power introduction. Now, here's a few ideas of how to write your about page. Always, always, always tell a story. As humans, we always learn better from stories. We always connect better with stories. So don't make it a bullet point thing of I did this, I did this, I did this. Tell a story. Tell a story about your life. Tell a story about how you helped some client. Tell a story of your own journey of personal transformation. But tell a story. 2. Keep it personal. Don't write in third person formal language the way newspapers write. It's not indirect, it's direct, because you are working with people one-on-one. You want to form that connection with them. It's okay to share parts of your life story. You don't have to write only the business parts of it, because people want to get to know you as a person. People want to know the person behind the business. That's why they're reading your about page. Okay, so it's not just about the business, it's about you as a person behind the business. Integrate the two, showcase the two, the business and the person. Show how they're interlinked, show how your personal beliefs, your personal struggles, your own story has helped in the context of your business, and it gives you a deeper insight into how to help them. Now, a quick way to do that, an easy way to do that, an easy formula to do that is the A to Z formula. I talk about this often, and I've done quite a few Facebook Lives about this. But in case you don't know, the A to Z formula is a very, very simple formula to help you with all kinds of copywriting. Now, on your About page, how do you use that formula? You want to first start off with connecting with what they're experiencing right now. Show them that you understand where they are at, what they're experiencing, the symptoms, what they're feeling. Okay, so start by connecting with where they are at. Then connect with the results that they want. What is the end goal? What is the end solution that they're looking for? Show that you understand that. And third, talk about how or why you are the best person to help them. Okay, see, simple 3-step formula. You can write 1 or 2 paragraphs about talking about what they're experiencing right now. If you have personally been through that transformation or that change, or you've helped a client through that, you can share that. So I used to feel this way, I used to experience this, and I used to struggle a lot with blah, 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 ABC, which is the same thing that they're struggling with now. Okay, so you can say 10 years ago, I used to struggle with this. Or just last year, I had a client who felt ABC, who was struggling with XYZ and was feeling da, da, da. Okay, so you start off saying that why it's not to emphasize, it's not to make them feel bad. It's about showing them that you understand exactly what they're feeling, because unless they feel that connection, everything else is irrelevant. Okay, so you start off that way, then you go on to talk about, and then I found some transformative method, and then I help my client achieve blah, 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 something which talks about the end result that these people want, the end goals that they're looking for. Or you can say, over the course of the next 5 years, I went through deep internal struggle, and I went and learned this, and I learned that, and I learned that, and I brought it all together to achieve da, 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 da. where the is the end goal that they want to achieve. I hope you can understand when I'm like, talking like that. And then the third part should be how and why are you the best person to help them? Now, you can say, I am the best, but that doesn't really mean anything to them. Instead, phrase it at, over the years, I've helped hundreds of clients or 20 clients or tens of clients achieve A, B, C, D, E. I've seen them go through this transformation. I've seen them go from point A to point Z. And I've held their hand through this. And the transformation, when they come out at the other end, is always so wondrous. It's always so powerful. And I'm committed to making that happen for you as well. I'm committed to supporting you through that journey. If you're ready to get started, sign up for my freebie below, or sign up for my free 3-minute meditation, which will help you achieve perfect bliss in under 3 minutes every single day. So do you see how when I spoke like that, it flowed like a conversation? When someone is reading your about page, it has to flow like a conversation. Okay, so use the A to Z formula. And when you're writing, instead of use I instead of we. If you're a single person business, don't try to project yourself larger than you are. Don't put we. Don't bring in that level of indirection. Okay, take responsibility, take ownership, stand up and say that, yes, it's you. You are your business. Because that gives them the sense that, yes, you have the power to help them through a certain transformation. And when you're talking about them, don't say, people feel blah, 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 or don't, there also be direct. Use the word you. Do you feel like this? Are you experiencing that? Do you want something? Do you want to feel this way? Use you instead of making it indirect and saying they, or using the past tense, or using some other kind of tense. And use a lot of photos of you. And that's not being narcissistic, that's helping people see you, the real you, the person behind the business, and building that connection with you. Because people, especially women, are very, very visual. We form a visual connection. That's why in all of these videos, I include a video of myself in the top corner. Simply so that you know that, yes, I'm talking with you. Yes, this is Richa, I'm the one behind the scenes behind these videos, right? And if you meet me somewhere, you would recognize me. Okay, so use a lot of photos of you. Now, end every single page with a clear call to action. On your about page, when you invite them to take the next step, what is the best thing for you to do? The best kind of call to action is to get them to sign up for your freebie so that you have their email address and you can continue that conversation with them. Getting their email address is the best way to do that, because social media is unreliable. It's Facebook algorithms or the Insta algorithms that decide who gets to see your post. But with an email, you get to decide and send it out to them directly. Okay. So the strongest call to action is to ask them to sign up for your freebie. The second strong is something like having them book a discovery call with you, or asking them to join your Facebook group or connect with you on your social media profile, or asking them to send an email to you to explore how you can work. They can work with you further. Now, the last two, this book a discovery call or booking an email to explore, you typically want this to be for higher ticket items. You don't want people to book a discovery call if they're thinking about buying a $17 video from you, okay, or a $47 course from you. That stuff you want to be automatic, but it's people who are, you want people to book a discovery call for you for packages above $500 or $1,000. Similarly, asking them to send you an email to explore, that should be used only when you have to customize packages or proposal for people. And again, if you're charging anything above $1,000, because then people want that interaction. But if it's for a $20 or a $50 course, that shouldn't be the call to action on your about page. Okay? Now, so your assignment, your task for today, and in doing all of this, I want you to remember that it doesn't have to be perfect. You are not a web designer, And heck, I don't want to make this program so detailed that you turn into a web designer. You are a business owner. Your purpose is to help your people. It's to help your tribe. Okay. You need to know just enough about web design. So today's assignment, I want you to do something very, very simple. It doesn't have to be perfect, but you have to get started thinking along those lines. Okay. So first, make a rough outline of the layout of your About page. Now, just after this, I'm going to show you a couple of examples of what layouts could look like. Okay. Make a rough copy of the layout. You can use simple pen and paper. Let me see if I have an example to show you. Okay, I seem to have lost my example. 1 minute. See, a layout is something like this. Can you see it? Take a pen and paper and draw it. What do you want on the top? Do you want a small image or a large image? Do you want rows or columns after that? Do you want a large chunk of text after that? What do you want? So this kind of thing is called, well, it's called a wireframe or a layout. Okay, so just map out or draw out on pen and paper what you would like it to look like. And I'm going to show you a couple of examples after this. Number two, plan your copy. You remember the A to Z formula? Write it down in a Word document or a Google document, and then try to line it up with your layout. Which part of that are you going to place where and how? Then think about your photos. Which kind of photos are you going to use where and how in your layout? And decide your call to action. What's going to be your call to action at the end of the page? Is it going to be to ask them to sign up for your freebie or something else? Okay, so that's your assignment for today. It doesn't have to be perfect, but you have to get started. You have to start thinking about these things. Most people start creating their page and then think, should I have a photo here or should I have a photo here? Where should I put this copy? Where should I do something else? And then it takes way too much time. So plan out your page, plan out your About page, and once you've done it, take a snapshot, a photo of your work and share it with us in our Facebook group. Okay? Okay. Now, the second part of this is for those of you who want to see examples of layouts. For those of you who have a fair idea of what you want, you can go ahead and jump straight into the assignment. And let me just share the right screens. Okay, now this is the About page for a guy called Ramit Sethi. And I use him as an example because I know he's done a lot of research and spent a lot of time, energy, and money doing the research and seeing what kind of pages convert well, what kind of headlines convert well. Okay, he's really an internet marketer. So, do you see how he starts with this weird looking photo of himself? It's not, well, he is a bit weird, but it's not because he's not narcissistic. It's because this kind of photo gets people's attention. And he starts off with a power intro. Hi, I'm Ramit Sethi, New York Times best-selling author. Okay, this was, I think his book was back in 2014 or 15 or something. And another power marker which says that over a million people read my material, blah, blah, blah. So this is a very, very powerful intro. You get to know about this guy like, oh my God, I better listen to him. Okay. And then he's put these 3 points of differentiation. I take a different approach than most experts out there. I don't believe in lecturing you. I prohibit anyone with credit card debt. I give away 98% of my material for free. So you see here, his layout is an image with some text on the side and a 3-column thing with very, very short, punchy sentences. Now, when you read this, it grabs your attention instantly. Okay, and you're forced, you want to read on. He says here, it's like he's talking to you. It's like he's inside your head. I know you have a lot of choices in who you read, so I know I have to earn your trust with every post I make. If you're curious, here's a little bit about me. You see how he's talking to you directly. He hasn't put up an impersonal page and just put it out there. It's like he's having a conversation with you. And he talks about his journey from a dorm room to New NY Times bestseller. Okay, this is a photo of him, a geeky, nerdy photo of him. And this is a photo, I think, when he was featured on, I don't know if it's NY Times or somewhere else. And he shared his story. He shared his journey Do you notice he's told a very personal story. Do you notice that he's not got and said, I experimented with internet marketing, I experimented with A/B conversions, I experimented with copy and found out the right techniques. He didn't get into tech jargon, he didn't get into internet marketing jargon. He's telling you a story. And these are his authority markers, logos of all the places he's been featured. And he doesn't start off saying why he is awesome. He does that very indirectly by using all of these features and stuff. But now he's starting off. So this story was about his journey from dorm room to NY Times bestseller. And now he's starting you off on another story about one of his readers. Okay, again, he's telling a story. Now, what I don't like here is that it's a big blob of text. There are no images, nothing to break it up. But you see how he's used, at the beginning, he's used these power markers and layouts to effectively convey an idea. Now, in contrast is this about page for Gabby Bernstein. Now, while I know I am doing, this is purely a website review, okay? So I have nothing, well, Gabby is a great person, but nothing for or against her. So when you start this, it says, meet Gabby, New York Times best-selling author. And this feels so cold and impersonal in contrast to the way Ramit introduced himself. Here it feels like he's talking to you. Here it feels like Gabby is far away on some stage. She's not quite talking with you. And while these are gorgeous photos and you want to look like that, but do you see when it's written in third person? Gabrielle Bernstein is the #1 best-selling author. She's the creator of this. So you're in awe of her. She's a celebrity. She looks like a celebrity and she feels like a celebrity. And you do not feel that personal connection with her. You're in awe of her. But when Ramit's talking, you're captivated by his storytelling. Do you see the difference in those layouts, in the way they've used copy on their About page? Now, this is my About page. In contrast, it's very, very stark. So it tells my journey. It tells my journey through all the odd career changes I have been through. And you see these photos of me, these convey the personal factor. You get to know me as a person and all the weird things. I talk about the emotional stuff, that I used to beat myself up. I signed up for programs, but they didn't work. And then what changed and how it started working for me. And a couple of non-business achievements. Because, hey, everyone got into the business, not just to make money, but to create a certain kind of lifestyle. And this is my version of my dream lifestyle. So I'm sharing that because people who work with me to grow their business, these are the relevant parts of my story for them. Okay? And I end it with these two call to actions. For those who are just getting started in business, here are a few free resources. And for those ready to grow your business, here are more resources. So these are 3 examples of about pages in the real world. And I would like to show you some templates, okay, of about pages that I have in what I call the website in a box. Now, the website in a box is something where I go in and I install WordPress as well as 30 professionally designed pages for you. So it's WordPress, 30 professionally designed pages, all the plugins, and the DB builder. Okay, so I go in and install these kind of templates for clients. Now, what I want you to see about these templates is that, do you see how sleek and clean they are? All you have to do is go in and change this heading, add in your parts of the story, add in your text, and at every place there are prompts to lead you, to tell you what to write. Okay. So this is a very, very clean, elegant layout. Here is another one. So it talks about meet the person or your name, some part of your story, a highlight here, some color here. Do you see? I'm showing you this layout to just show you how just highlighting, adding a splash of color, adding an image makes it so much nicer to read through. Okay. Bottom line, don't make your about page one big blob of text. Make it an easy reading, turn it into a conversation by using different elements of your layouts. Background images, colored fonts, regular images, chunks of text, colored graphics. You don't have to plan all of it out. It doesn't have to be a masterpiece, but what it has to do is take people through a certain conversation. Okay. Here's another example, and actually my favorite example of a layout, a short heading, and you actually tell your story, start with something, the past. It started way back when, of how you got started, of how things started happening for you, and include a photo of yourself on the side. Then you talk about the after part of the story, which is your end result, who you are today, the Z part of the transformation. So this is clearly your A to Z journey. Point A, you talk about point A, and you talk about point Z, how it changed your life, how did you come across from the other end, and something more, why and how you're the best person to help them. Now this layout translates directly from the A to Z journey, and a few testimonials and a call to action. Okay, so this is another really good, really high converting layout for an about page. Now I will share these links with you. You can use any of these layouts as a template to map out your own about page, or you can create your own layout. Okay, and once you're done with the assignment, once you're done mapping things out, share it in our Facebook page. Till next time, keep shining. Bye bye.